Global pollution is the leading cause of death in the world. In an article written earlier this year, Daily Nation reported that in 2015 alone, 9 million deaths occurred due to pollution. That's 1 in every 6 deaths which occurred that year. Now, I've traveled a lot, and I've been to many beautiful places, but I've also been to poverty-stricken, struggling third world countries, and I've witnessed firsthand the effects and the damage that can be caused by pollution. But pollution is something that should concern all of us, even those of us who live in first world countries. That is because its effects are still very real. Pollution degrades our quality of life in many ways. The first is health. Spare the Air, a website that reports on air quality in the Sacramento area, said that air pollution in particular accelerates the aging of the lungs, can cause a loss of lung capacity and decreased lung function, can also result in the development of many diseases, and of course, can shorten our lifespan. But pollution also affects our youth. The World Health Organization reports that every year, environmental pollution causes 1.7 million deaths in children under the age of 5. Pollution also has an effect on the environment. The website The World Counts states that toxic air chemicals, which are the result of fossil fuels, settle into plant and water sources and result in contamination. These contaminated sources are then consumed by animals, and this poison then travels up the food chain until it reaches us. Water pollution also has a great effect on the environment, as it can cause diseases and many other health problems due to the contamination of our drinking water. Water pollution also greatly affects wildlife, especially those which live in aquatic and marine ecosystems. Global warming is greatly caused by pollution. In fact, NASA states that the main cause of global warming is the result of the emission of fossil fuels. When fossil fuels are emitted into the air, they release gases which trap heat in the atmosphere, causing a greenhouse effect and the gradual warming of the Earth. Lagoons like this one are the result of global warming. As ice melts, water rises, and this lagoon in particular has become the deepest lake in Iceland. Luckily for us, though, these effects can be reduced, if not completely eliminated. But they start with our choices, our everyday decisions, starting with choice of sustainable transportation. This requires us to cut out unnecessary use of our vehicles, and if it's a nice day, we can choose to walk or ride our bike. If we have good transportation, public transportation provided to us, we should take advantage of that. We can also choose to consolidate our trips. This means that instead of a bunch of small trips, we take one trip and make it efficient to get all our errands done. We can also choose to carpool. This is great if you have friends or fellow employees or students who commute to the same place every day. Instead of each of you driving your own car, you can each take one car. It will save you both gas and will reduce carbon emissions released. Another option is sustainable energy choices. This is as simple as turning off the light after you leave a room, or even buying energy-efficient light bulbs, which have little to no cost difference. You can also choose to unplug and turn off unused devices. When you're done with the device, and you know you're going to be done with it for the rest of the day, the night, or whatever it may be, you can shut it off. You can also air dry your clothes and dishes. You can hand wash your dishes and then set them on a rack to dry. Or if it's nice outside, you can wash your clothes and then hang them on the clothesline. Finally, you can make sure your house is well insulated and as well as being sealed, properly sealed. This ensures that the temperature inside is kept and less energy is needed to reach that desired temperature. Another thing that is important to do is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. This starts with conserving water. When you conserve water, it means that you don't use water unnecessarily. You don't let it run when you're not using it. If you're not using it, shut it off. You can also buy reusable items. This means that you don't buy paper plates and utensils just because it's easy to use them and throw them away. You buy usable items, regular plates and forks, which you can use over and over and over again. You can buy items made from recyclables. This not only is supporting the cause of recycling, but it also reduces the amount of items which must be manufactured. Finally, you can recycle. Recycling is easy. It just requires a concerted effort. Pretty much everything you buy can be recycled. So when you're done using a water bottle or a can or some sort of cardboard box, set them aside, separate them out into different bins, and then make one trip to your local recycle center a week. Now, let's imagine a world which is pollution-free. Let's imagine a world where all of these solutions are implemented. Or where the air is clean, the skies are bright and clear. Or where our landscapes and our oceans and our streams and lakes are free of trash and other pollutants. A world where we have happier, healthier communities. But on the other hand, let's imagine a world where current environmental trends continue as they are, where pollution only seems to worsen, where the air is filled with smog, our landscapes and our oceans are trashed, and our communities are filled with disease and a lower quality of life. Now, which world paints a better future? Which world would you rather raise a future family in? And some of you may be saying, well, that's easy. Well, what can I do? What can I do to make an impact? And what can I do to make the world a better place? And there's several things you can do. The first of these is most obvious: to adopt a sustainable lifestyle. You can go back through with the sustainable choices that I've given you, and you can review and see how you can implement those into your life. But for those of you who are wishing to take more hands-on action on cleaning up existing pollution, you can join a local cleanup group. I'm sure there's some in your community, whether it's just going out and cleaning up trash along the highways, or perhaps even going and helping on beaches or oceans. There's plenty of groups that you can join helping the cleanup effort. You can also share the information that you know. You can use the information which I have provided you to inform your friends and your family about the importance of making environmental friendly choices and the damage that is caused by pollution. For those of you who are wishing to take it even a step further, you can contact your local representatives. Now, none of us are members of Congress or the Senate, but we can still make an impact on the environmental policies which are passed. Our local representatives are in charge of putting these policies forward, but they need your feedback. They need to hear that you value these policies and that you support their implementation. So remember, every helping hand counts. Although it may seem like your effort is minimal at times, or your impact is minimal at times, remember that if we join together as one unified group, we have the power and the capability to build a better world today, tomorrow, and for future generations.